Empire is using your data, collecting, scanning, storing all your chats, every damn one. Wake up and follow the white rabbit. Introducing FluxAI.
We are live. Davey, how the hell are you, brother?
Good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. Oh, dude, I couldn't be better, man. I'm excited. Today's the day. All right, so before we get started today, I have some housekeeping items for everybody. If you could take 2 seconds and like and share this. Also, if you can, on Twitter as well. We have a big, or X, as they want to call it. Okay, we have a big following on X. So if you want to live tweet, that'd be great. I mean, we've got a great community. I'm gonna bore you with a bunch of stuff. So make sure that you anything that's cool, you share it on X if you don't mind. So I'm excited. It's been a little while since we did one of these, and one of the community members said the other day, Dave, you like my shirt?
I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's badass.
What's mine? Actually, I picked a shirt this morning. What did I grab?
Father figure?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's not a dad bod. It's a father figure.
Well, I'm working on losing my dad bod. I'm down.
Same here.
I'm down 10 pounds, Davey. I got rid of sugar.
Getting rid of sugar, I can recommend for anybody out there.
It's very toxic. We should do a podcast about that, because
the
journey
and sugar alcohol, even worse. Oof.
Yeah. Well, I'm not giving up my booze. Not yet. I want to be just healthy enough so that I can enjoy my retirement years when I get there, right? So,
right.
I got, some people call it the COVID 10. I maybe got the COVID 25. So I'm losing that shit. So anyway,
Eventually we have to start working on it, right?
yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I got to start working out too. I hate it, but go back and start doing some Muay Thai and stuff like that. Gets me jazzed. So without further ado, I know you guys are waiting for us to talk about Flux. You could listen to me probably rant about crap all day. I know. Not. But anyway, big special event here because we have the opportunity to see FluxAI for the very first time. And there is a secret surprise today that not even I know about. So our dads who will be doing the presentation, will bring them up here on the stage in a couple minutes. He just told me right before it started, he said, I can either tell you now or I'm going to wait till we get going. Then I'm going to tell you. What do you want to do? And I said, dude, I like to leak, but I don't like to be leaked too. So I'm going to find out about it at the same time that you all find out about it.
I already know, actually. So
well, that don't tell me because I want it to be awesome.
Nope.
So before we get going, I do have just a couple real quick shout outs to the team. Huge shout out to all of our development team on the edge and AI side. You guys, they work their asses off. And when I say they work their asses off, like literally it was getting crazy. Like everybody was just pushing so hard to get this thing done. And why did we push so hard to get this thing done? Because this is an unbelievable, valuable asset to our right to privacy and security. FluxAI is like no other AI component out there. It's completely private, doesn't store your search histories, doesn't monopolize or extract what you're looking to learn about. It's completely open to the sense that, it's not going to share back to any central entity. And that's huge because as we look at AI, right now it's the great gold rush to see who controls the input and therefore the output models of AI. And you see Microsoft and ChatGPT, and now you got Twitter, you've got Google or X, and you got Bard, you've got Grok, you've got all these other ones. So there needs to be like an unfettered truth model that like the data that goes in does not manipulate the data that's coming out. So, I mean, we saw with the Google launch, what an unbelievable nightmare that was for their AI. I mean, anybody watching that was a slow train wreck. So it was kind of funny because we were designing this whole platform in the back while this is all transpiring. So it was pretty cool. So big shout out to those guys. Another big shout out to our dev team, Tadeusz Trunk, Bacillus, Volter, all those guys who are working tirelessly to improve Flux OS, Flux Cloud, Flux Drive, big deals there. Bacillus, Zelcore continue to keep adding new assets. We just added a lithium. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. They're just ratcheting through adding new products, which is unbelievable. So super happy for the entire team. The marketing team and PR team, we have one of the best marketing teams in the space. And it's easy to market in an absolute bull market. It's hard as hell to market and lay the foundation for that bull market in the off market. And that's exactly what we're doing. Most people think about when they want to see the bull market. I'm trying to push it off as far as we can so we can still get our development in the background to make sure that we're ready to handle it when that happens. One of the things I'd like to share is that Flux was picked as a top 100 blockchain project. And I have by Futurenomics. This is an award that basically looks at the entire blockchain space and finds people that are making a difference or innovation in blockchain. And it's inclusive. So not only blockchain projects per se, but people that are working toward developing out the blockchain. And if you haven't had a chance to check that out, here's some of the companies that were nominated along with us. So we have PayPal, we have Ledger, we have Trust, we've got MasterCard, we've got Visa, we've got Robinhood, we've got these are like the who's who in the tech sector. Not only that, Grayscale's in there. I mean, Ethereum's in there. It's unbelievably impressive that little old Flux, the engine that could, gets put into top 100 blockchain projects. And I mean, honestly, that one took me by surprise. And historically, I don't
we
get.
didn't apply for any of that shit, so that was all of a sudden like we were like, wait, what?
They have an extensive evaluation process, and as a matter of fact, they reached out to us multiple times in our Discord and Telegrams asking questions. They do the research, so they know who they're picking and they know what they're doing to the industry. So I was shocked.
It's also a bit of a reminder to everybody when you see somebody new come into Discord and asking questions, that might be somebody like that.
Yeah,
right?
Be kind.
Just be respectful. Not everybody's on the same level yet, so we're all learning. Okay.
So there'll be some additional accolades with that. We're gonna receive an award in New York City. We've got we're gonna start putting a little logo top 100 on some of our things. Blockchain projects.
Is it the same type of award that I got for best CBO at Flux? Like I printed it myself actually.
That's epic, dude.
Sad. Yeah, I know.
I like it. I need it. I need a fantasy football trophy, so maybe we'll print a big one on there.
Yeah.
Our fantasy football league, Davey, is super serious. This is if you're a champion, you get your championship ring.
Jesus.
Oh shit. So yeah, you get your championship ring and the trophy's as tall as me. So we're super serious about this shit, man. And
I don't know what it is with Americans, but their American football is serious business.
We don't mess around.
I was in the U.S. last weekend, and it was nothing but college football on TV. Something must have started or something, but it was nuts. Like every single place we went to had college football on. And I'm like, oh god.
Well, my wife spent yesterday morning that she's going to lose me till like January because every Sunday. Man, that's where I'm at. Like, you know, my boys come over and we hang out, we watch football, we have a blast. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This is my time of season, Davey. I love this shit. Right. Anyway, big deal, top 100. Congratulations to the community because without the community, we would not be where we're at today. They really drove that. And one of the things when I was speaking to the folks over there is they said, you know, the input that we got from your team and everyone else was unbelievably helpful, and that definitely helped in us picking what product we wanted to throw in that top 100. So good shit. Congratulations, guys. So without further ado, why are we here today? So today is kind of an awesome day because we get to see FluxAI. And if you've been playing around with it this past couple weeks in its alpha phase, you know that it is fast as fuck. It is super fast. And I actually had somebody ask me the other day, say, why is this so fast? Because ChatGPT, and I said, well, think about it this way. Grok, ChatGPT, and other products are basically confined to data centers. So whatever the throughput is up and down in those data centers, that's what you're going to get. Flux isn't limited by that. So we can spawn this on 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 graphics cards so that people can be able, and Daz will talk about concurrent users and things like that. So we get to scale because we built the network to scale it. So Flux Edge and what Alex has been working on and his team has enabled us the ability to almost geolocate. So you're not getting this far away response. You're actually getting a response from, multiple places. And at one point in time, it's going to be where it's closest to you. So that's the ultimate goal. We're not confined by data centers, which is awesome. We love it. And that's what we're going to keep working on. So I'm going to introduce Daz. Daz, come on up.
I'll bring him up.
Yes, and college football is crazy. Go Nittany Lions.
Nice.
Yes, you.
Woo!
Oh,
I love it.
I'm surrounded.
Darren, you went to Penn State, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm originally from England.
Oh,
he's
that's
a football guy.
Yeah, no, a soccer guy.
Well,
yeah,
is it U.S. soccer, right? But
Yeah,
football over there.
No, proper soccer, proper football. My team's Newcastle United, so there you go.
Newcastle United.
I won't hold it against you.
Look, I really need you to sit me down one time and explain to me the dynamics of soccer, football, European football, because I struggle with it. So I watched the World Cup. It was a couple years ago, I guess, or whatever. That was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Some of the games are weird ass times, obviously, because it's not around. They don't do it around the U.S. But yeah, I need to understand that a little bit more, man. So, Daz, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself. This may be the very first time that they're meeting you. And Daz is a good friend of mine. He's also the head of our AI department, which is a daunting task. And boy, let me tell you something. He drives. He drives. Like, he pushes people, and it really is good that we got that. So we're very blessed to have you, Daz, and go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I've got a short presentation I put together, a little bit of background on me. But oh my God, I'm so excited. We've finally reached this point. It's been like 6 months in the making, a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours, a lot of all-nighters. And oh boy, let me tell you, I haven't had this much fun with my clothes on. So let's do this, guys. I'm excited. FluxAI, are you ready? I wish I was out there watching this. So going to go through a few things, the who's, the what's, the why's, the when's, the where's, finish off some use cases, and of course the demo. Super excited for that. So how long have we been live for? 3 weeks. And what's happened in those 3 weeks? Well, we've amassed 500 monthly active users in 3 weeks. Can you believe that? That's unbelievable. There's active people coming on every day, using it. Between them, generated 17,000 messages, which is over 600 a day. Man, this thing's getting used. And let me tell you, it's exciting to see everything coming to fruition, you know? It's being used like I don't know what. And look how many words it's generated. Can you believe it?
Million already. Dude, that's impressive numbers for an alpha, like literally an alpha. I mean, we haven't even started advertising this bad boy yet. So the only people that really know about this part of the project is the community.
And you know what? The community has been so good to us with the feedback. Of course, the feedback's all about, hey, give me images, guys. Where's these images? And I'm super proud to announce that that's what we're going to launch today. Or announce today, should I say, and it should be ready for next week. But man, I'm so glad for all of the feedback. You know, people have been praising how fast it is and how easy it is to use. Man, I'm so grateful for that. A little bit of background about me. Fun fact, started business when I was only 18. Built my first website in 2000, and it was a rave website because that's what I was into. And before long, over a space of a few months, it had got like pretty much every teenager in the northeast of England on this website just sharing.
Wait. So you did raves?
Yeah. Well, I started off with a website, right? And the website was called Ultimate Buzz. And it just got so popular. It was like, this was before Facebook. And so everyone was on it. They were talking to each other. They were arranging meetups. They were sharing music. And then I got invited to run my own rave events. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. So I was only 19 and we were jamming this place full of 2,000 people every month. And boy, let me tell you, I was only like 19, 20 and making about, I don't know, 30 grand a month. It was insane. It was nuts. Although according to IRS, it was a lot less than that, but you get the idea. So that was called the Powerhouse.
I didn't hear that.
No.
We didn't hear shit. It wasn't like, what year was that? Like 2000 what?
This was 2003.
Yeah, you're good.
2004. No, joking aside, this really kind of paved the way for, you know, me running my own businesses and creating websites and being innovative. Like I say, it was the first rave website, and I just learned so much from that. It was so exciting. That opened up loads of new doors, and from that we created a new website, and it was selling all hair and beauty products from the UK.
A bit of a shift, just a small shift.
Well, check this out. So my wife Angie, she was running this hair business on the side. She was doing all of our friends' hairs. She was importing the hair from a market just down in the Midlands. And then we kind of started talking and said, well, why don't we just cut out the middleman, go straight to China and just build a website and just start selling hair? And that started, that was 2004. And over the course of 9 years, built that up to over 1.5 million turnover. We've got 18 staff, was getting 1 million people on the website a year. That was the building we ran it from. And I purchased hairextensions.co.uk. It was one of the biggest domain purchases at the time. Spent a lot of money on it, and that just skyrocketed the business. It was unbelievable. Had a really great opportunity to sell a business to one of the suppliers, so I took that chance. And over the time, we won 17 awards, including a national award from Dell. And we beat thousands of other companies to be crowned the winner in none other than innovation through technology. So super proud of that. And that was just
damn, Daz, I didn't even know this shit. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was things like I got to pitch in front of the Prince Andrew, in front of royalty. That was really cool and exciting. After this, I got shortlisted to the final 10 in the UK Apprentice in the TV show. Made it to the final 20, so I was almost there, but that would have been a fun journey, fun ride. So yeah, from this business, I started a social media business straight after this one, and it got 900,000 fans on the Facebook page, and super successful. It was a money saving app, and we got up to 2 million turnover in the second year. And that was like almost 100% profit. It was affiliate marketing, if anyone's familiar with that. So that was another really fun journey. We got that up to 15 staff, ran that for a few years and sold it. And then a long-time friend who I know through this business, he was running, at the time, $15 million business in Dallas, Texas. And he said, hey, man, why don't you come and join me and help me run this? And that was the best thing I ever did. Move over, sold everything we had, just moved over with the clothes on our backs, set up a new life. And here we are, like 7 years later, helped them grow to over a $30 million business. I was a chief technology officer there. Had a lot of fun. And then Dan tapped me on the shoulder. He said, hey, man, why didn't you come and join the Flux family full time? I said, I was waiting for your call, Dan. This has been the moment we've been waiting for, and we're finally here. So from there, we were creating loads of cool AI products, anti-spam apps, voice apps, you name it, anything to do with AI, we wanted. And so we were kind of putting all these ideas together, and it's like, well, you do realize we're about to launch this, ginormous global GPU network. We need to bring some stuff together and really, showcase what it's capable of. And this was FluxAI 6 months ago. A lot of hard work in the making, and it just goes to show, right, from where we are right now.
Yep.
But why we're here, why are we doing this? And first and foremost, it's to always add back to the Flux ecosystem. It's to add value to the coin. It is basically, that's why we're here, right? And that's truly what I believe the mission is.
Building real utility use cases for utility asset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anything we can do to highlight that. And so where do we go from here? What is AI and what can we do? Well, these are all the different sample use cases, from anywhere from text and speech, translation, document intelligence, where you can feed documents and ask it to summarize, chatbots, which you can see, well, what we've done, sentiment analysis, you name it. There's so many different use cases. And we're just at the very beginning of where we are right now. And so we said, right, we've got to start somewhere, right? So let's create a chatbot. Let's showcase what Flux Edge can do. Let's show people what we can build. And that's what it is. That's inference is producing the words from the AI. This is where we are, man. This is so exciting, right? So start with these four, and that's what we did. So we connected FluxAI into Flux Edge. And the best way to think about this is we can create the consumer apps by plugging into FluxAI, and that's what we're going to show you today. And then very soon, we're going to be launching the API, which is going to allow any developer to utilize the FluxAI technology and Flux Edge into their own apps. That's really going to open up so many opportunities.
I don't know. Yeah,
that's huge.
I don't know.
Fucking huge.
That's a big thing, because a lot of companies out there that claim to be AI, they're literally just tying into an API from either OpenAI. They're just tying into OpenAI. Period.
It's mostly it's mostly ChatGPT at this point. And you know, I mean, I was just reading, Daz, I sent you that article. I mean, they're already looking at enterprise versions for $2,000 a month, $2,000, right? Yep. So what we're looking to do is compete with that setup and that model and that process by providing a better level of service without the price manipulation, because that's just ridiculous. That's insane.
You know, you bring up a good point there, and a lot of the apps out there you see, AI apps, all it is just a wrapper around ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But we're different. It's all of our own technology. We own the entire thing. So as Dan said at the very beginning, it's 100% private. We're not going to use your data to train the models, which could become public, which is what the other guys do, unless you opt out, but it's really hidden. We're 100% private from the get-go. And that's just the Flux way, and that's what we're all about. So that's what you're going to see here. And owning all of the technology from start to finish means you can be reassured that you're safe in everything you do and what you build. This is exciting, man. This is my favorite slide. Check this out. That is
I mean, and I think we have to. I have to acknowledge this, because when Daz originally, when I tapped him on the shoulder to come over to Flux and help build out our AI process, this was one of the original slides that we set down very early on and agreed that this was the best way forward. So this was, and to see it come to fruition, what was that, Des? Maybe March?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, March. Yeah. And I mean, and we were actually, Daz and I chatted about this. Where were we? Vegas? I think we were in Vegas or something. We started to brainstorm some of the stuff that this would look like, and it's like it harkens back to those days when me and Tadeusz and Parker and everybody else were on this fucking napkin driving from the Harley Davidson place, and drawing how the node network would work. That's the amazing thing that this is. Like, you map it out, the vision is there, but what this really accents, and I'm not going to steal any more of your time, Des, but this really accents is the versatility of Flux, because we wanted to build a delivery framework, a model much like what Amazon does in terms of shipping and so on and so forth. Doesn't matter what's in the pipeline, they can handle it because they built the framework. Flux has built this framework where you can drop these components in, and with a little legwork, with a little hustle, you'll be able to build these out. And this is a perfect example. So that started in March, and here we are in September, and we have a fully functional product. Daz and his team, and that was with major holdups as we work through the Flux Edge, FluxAI integration, because this has never been done before. So It's like, we were all like pulling our hair out trying to get to that point, but once it clicked, it was like, there it is. That's the thing. And that's why that framework is so important. So go ahead, Daz. I just got to give you a compliment on that, because you had the vision and foresight to bring this very early on and explain it to me. And if I can understand it, anybody can understand it, right? So bringing it to me and sharing it with me and us brainstorming really has paid off dividends in the end.
Yeah, we're building the plane as we're flying it. Yeah, there's no roadmap. There's no instruction manual. There's nothing to tell you what to do. We are literally building the future right here.
Running with scissors, baby. Running with scissors.
Davey's running with his rock.
Yeah.
Or his brick. Yeah. Well, just for those who don't know, what we're looking at here is Flux Edge is the GPU network, the GPU infrastructure. So anyone who's got a GPU 3090, 4090, they can connect straight into Flux Edge. They can earn some money by renting their machine. And then others, enterprises, or even FluxAI can then rent those machines, and you get rewarded handsomely. And then we can use that power to then power the future, power all these apps. And so Flux Edge is ideal if you want to, you know, rent 30, 20, 50, 100, 1,000 GPUs for whatever project you're working on. So it could be, you know, training a brand new AI. It could be running your own AI app, like what we're doing right here, and having them all.
Or it could be a copy of FluxAI that's running
It
just
could
for
be.
you.
It could be.
Because I
So
saw somebody already worried being about the security pieces and privacy pieces. So who knows?
the potential is huge here. So exciting. So that's what Flux Edge is, the infrastructure. Flux AI is essentially the software layer that makes it so easy for anyone, especially when we launch the API, for any developers to then just easily, and you can use the existing OpenAI API schema. So essentially, if you're using OpenAI right now in your product, then Flux AI is identical in terms of the API. You can just swap it over. So easy. Anyone can do it. So there we go. That's
Dude, I've had way too much time playing with that damn thing, and I'm so glad the chat history doesn't get saved, because I've been asking that thing some totally bizarre questions. So it's good. It's really good. It's good enough that I had a subscription.
It's awkward enough he sometimes shares these things too.
Yeah, I know I do. Well, what are you gonna do? Hey, I did add.
To be fair, I shared my things with you as well.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. You know, I did ask it a lot of really random questions, and it did really well with them. So it's so much to the fact that I had a subscription to ChatGPT. I think it was $25 a month or some shit like that. Canceled it. Done. Won't ever use it again. You get it for, what is it, $4.99, $5 with Flux? Get out of here. And then Daz will share this. We've got some other fun stuff too in that.
I love the enthusiasm. All right, so Flux AI, as of yesterday, this is what you got right out of the box. So FluxBot is our specialized expert. Ask it anything to do with Flux, and it's going to connect to, you know, hundreds of documents that we have, and it's going to summarize and give you the information you need right there and then. Then we've got the general chat, which you're chatting with our LLM, large language model, called Llama 3.1. It's the cutting edge model right now. And it's had so many rave reviews, and that is the engine that's powering this. It's general chat. It's not trained on Flux. It's just, you ask it, it's just going to tell you whatever you want to know. And then the code assistant, which has been specially tuned to help with coding questions. So you put in whatever problem you want solving to do with software programming, from JavaScript to Python to C++, whatever it is. And so that's what we have as of until now. And there's one more to add to this list. But before we do that, let's just go over a couple of use cases. So how are people using it right now? Well, actually, surprisingly enough, translation is the big one. And I was blown away by this, honestly. I think French, whether it's from Canada or France itself, I think it's France actually, it's going nuts. People just love this thing. It's just talking to you in Chinese, Ukrainian, Russian, you name it. It's so versatile. It's unbelievable.
Hey, guys, I want to share with you, that is a big use case. My son, he was assigned, he's a salesman, and he was assigned basically a highly Latino area. He doesn't speak Spanish, and a lot of them don't speak English. And we put the Flux AI on there, and he uses it for translating when he works with, you know, these people. He throws it in there real quick, and, you know, he's like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So it's because it's so super fast, and it's like real time. So it's nice for him to be able to use it. But I think you'll see more and more of that as it grows.
Exactly, yeah. And it's apparently, according to some of my foreign friends, it is really as close as you can get to that, you know, natural native speaker. Never going to be perfect, but it's apparently much better than the other two.
I use it for Dutch as well, and it was pretty good. I tried it. It was good.
Yeah.
And Dutch is not easy, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, summarization is another popular one where you want to paste in a whole bunch of text that you just want a summary on, whatever it might be, from a news article. You just want the snapshot, the takeaways. That's a big one. And of course, role play, which, you know, is one of those kind of, I don't know, underground things maybe, but you're surprised in how big this is. So you can say, hey, I want you to be Bob Marley, and give it a scene and talk to it, and it's now Bob Marley. It's so scary. It's cool, actually. Really, really cool. Snoop Dogg, you name it, whatever you want to come up with. It could be a Dungeons and Dragons game, which, Davey, I'd love for you to show us a demo later.
Sure.
But hey, you know, it really does take on that persona. It's scary to some degree, you know, but that's how we find a lot of people using this. And of course, humor. You know, do you want to create some original comedy? Are you creating a best man speech? And you want it to help you create something like that. It's so good at creative writing. It's unbelievable. So, demo time. So
No, keep going rolling. This is good.
This is the one you've all been waiting for. So, Davey, if you can switch over.
Or you want me to? Oh no, you want to switch over.
There you go. You got it. All right. So this is, if you've logged in to FluxAI, this is what you've seen so far. This is what you've been used to. If you haven't signed up yet, it's totally free, and you get some generous text conversations. So if you go to runonflux.com, and you'll see the pop-up for FluxAI, click through, free sign up, and you can get started right away. But before you do that, check this out. Introducing the new image generator, and this is using Flux.1, which is the other state-of-the-art latest AI image AI.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, they're Flux, we're Flux, and we just kind of stumbled upon them, and we're like, hey, let's throw them in Flux AI for shits and giggles, and it worked out great. Daz, you hit that one out of the park.
It just come along at the perfect time.
Yeah, well, because it's generating an image, but it's fun to me because at the GBA I was showcasing Flux One as well on our Flux Edge network. But I was doing it in Jupyter Notebook, which is a lot of lines of code. And I even gave that particular Jupyter Notebook to Dan, and Dan was like, I don't know where to start with this. And I'm like, well, just that one line, fix that one thing. But then we gave it to Daz, and he ran with it. And here we are. It's generating images now for us.
Oh my, look at that. Like, I'm serious. Like, we were talking about this earlier before the call. These look like stock images you'd get off the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd have to pay for. Getty Images, and those guys are effed. Like,
you're just pulling an image from a stock repository somewhere. I'm pretty sure. There's no way that this is generated. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
You can do a reverse Google image search.
Davey, you already know it works because you were putting in sexy Deadpools. I don't even want to hear it. So show them what this is what Davey's been doing with FluxAI. Where's sexy Deadpool at? If you go to the gallery, and there's sexy Deadpool. So this is and we got elves. We've got, you know, this is the stuff that the guys are playing with behind the scenes. So I'm not narking you out, but. And I'm not completely offended with the sexy Deadpool either.
It's a weird dynamic, but it's yeah.
So
anyhow,
let's just dive a little bit deeper into this, because what is image AI and how does it work? So, you know, you've got a regular text box, you're describing the image, and the more detailed you are, the more detailed the picture is going to be, and it goes into this what's called a large language model, or image diffusion model, if you like, which is essentially, it's a neural network, which is like essentially a brain in a box, software brain with, you know, billions and trillions of neurons, and almost how the human brain works. And it's been trained on billions of photos, images of different things. And so it's learned what the different aspects of the images are. And so when you describe, hey, a beautiful summer day, it starts to build the layers of the picture based on what it knows to be, you know, a summer's day. And that's essentially how it's working. So it builds the image, sends it back, and here we are.
Well, and if you would have added comic style, for instance, to it, it would not have been photorealistic. It would have been more in a comic book style. So it's pretty cool how it picks up on those things as well. Yeah,
old photo, black and white, you name it. It's It is the
or
technology.
painting style. I think you did a
Um,
Van Gogh one as well, for instance. I think, what was it? Disney at Van Gogh style or something? Disney
That's
World?
it. That's it. Although we don't recommend putting copyrighted things in here,
No.
obvious reasons. But as an experiment, if it's for your own personal use,
I better.
look, here's a deal. So Flux.1, which is the AI engine which is powering this, it's created by a team of guys, the ex Stability AI, which is one of the original image AI companies. They started Stable Diffusion, and there's a bunch of those guys left, and then
And just to give you an idea on how it evolved already, then remember Moose in the Mountain a year ago at Cypherpunk?
No, it was I said make me an image of a Mustang High Mountain series, and
Yeah, something like that.
it put like a horse's head on a mountain. I was like, oh geez, what the hell is this? So yeah. Oh no,
That was the same guys.
It's Mustang Fastback.
Yeah.
Fastback. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
that was the same
Boy.
guys. That was the same basically library, but now they've evolved, and this is what it has
That's
become.
right.
It's insane.
Stable Diffusion 1, version 2, version 3, and now this. It is getting loads of rave reviews online, and now you've got the power at your fingertips right on Flux AI. You can log on next week. No promises on the date. We're almost there, but let's dive a bit deeper. So we can create images, we can create text content, but what happens if you bring them together? So we've got an examples page, and on here you can find tons of different ways you could use this. Some of my favorites are at the bottom, where you could say, hey, let's help me create a new type of health and wellness app. And you could go off down loads of rabbit holes, inventing new stuff. And this will guide you along. It's so cool.
And then you can use the code generator to help you build it.
There you go. You got it. Not only that, but if you're creating a story, this one, write a sci-fi story about a world where gravity doesn't exist. And it's generating this at around about 140 tokens per second, which is lightning fast.
That's
Did you see how fast that was, though?
Fast. That was insanely fast.
So there's our story. And right now we've got this create image. And so it essentially takes what has just been generated. We can play around with it a little bit. Obviously, the more concise you are, the better the image is going to be. And so we're just going to submit whatever it gives us there. And immediately, by creating a brand new story, we can now start pairing images with it. So this could be a story I want to create for the kids, for a nighttime story. This could be something I'm doing as a side hobby. I want to start selling this on eBay, Amazon, wherever. Whatever you want to do. It literally gives you the power at your fingertips, and very quickly, probably in the space of an hour, you could probably have a full-blown story put together with beautiful imagery.
That's insane.
Well, we were playing with it last night, Dan, me and Daz, and I brought over one of my kiddos. Look at that.
I just did an image. I said, give me a Buick Grand National doing a smoky burnout, and it's damn near perfect. I'm thinking I missed a couple little things on the car, but yeah, that's pretty impressive, dude.
Well, let me show you how to share it with the world. So this is the next feature. And from this, we're going to do the big announcement. But one of the brand new features we've put in is, hey, why don't you show your image off in our public gallery? So submit. Okay, let's give it a category. This one is, let's put this into Sci-Fi, under DAS, and then the prompt I used to generate this, which we'll copy and paste in a second. So for now, let's just do this and submit. So of course, I'm consenting that we're not going to put anything illegal, no copyrighted content, nothing unethical. And that's it. We're going to submit that for approval. Once it's approved, it'll appear in our public AI gallery. And check this out. You can see all of the beautiful examples that's been done so far.
Wow, that's insane, dude. What the hell?
This is Egyptian's airline. So this is what it looked like way back in the day.
Oh my God, dude, this is insane. Keep going. I want to see the rest of them.
Yeah, it was a stone aeroplane back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Used a lot of fuel.
It was insane.
Oh, the puppy dogs. I mean, this is insane, dude. Look at the quality of these things.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm
Wow.
having a disco rave.
Wow, that's impressive, dude. Like, I'm blown away.
So what we want to do is we want to encourage everyone to come in here and vote. We want to do 5-star reviews. Essentially, what this is going to allow us to do is, as of when this launches, hopefully next week, we're going to launch the Flux World-Class AI Photo Competition. This is your chance to enter an image you create, which can be seen by the world, and we're going to give one lucky winner from 3 categories: 1,000 Flux, 12 months pro membership, and the chance for your image to be seen around the world. Your very own image made by you. How about that, guys?
Oh my God. I'm going to do that. Am I allowed to participate?
No.
No, not for me. Okay, gotcha.
So we're going to have 3 categories. We're going to do pets, animals. We're going to have a funny, humorous photo, image, whatever you want. And lastly, a brand new invention. You want to create something that no one has ever seen before and let your imagination go wild. Or you can just submit anything you want and just let the world see. It's completely up to you. But there you have it.
Dude, that's insane. That is insane.
FluxAI, and this is the future, man. We're right here, right now.
It is the future. So, like, what I'd like to do now, Daz, first of all, excellent presentation, and that's got me pumped up big time. I actually got a little bit of my hair stood up there for a minute, because this is the future. This is what it's going to look like. So, if anybody has a question for Daz, we have a bunch that we want to go through real quick. Just post it up now, and we'll get to it. So, first question: how a customer can be sure this is really private? Critics say that this is trust me, bro basis.
Yeah,
you gotta love the millennials and the Gen Zs out there with their trust me, bro.
Yeah, real nice profile picture as well. No, you just got to trust me, bro. This is 100% private.
Yeah, trust me.
So the best way
Flux never uses trust me, bro. I mean, that is one thing that we are very that's on our list of shit that does not happen.
Well, the best way to answer this question is just to explain how the actual technology works really, really simply. The best way to say it is it's read-only. So the AI, if you think of it as trillions of words inside this program box, which is stored on our servers, which is read-only. So when you put in a question, a query, it uses a text prediction algorithm, which predicts the next word in the sequence. And that's how it does what it does. So it doesn't learn. Even if you ask it, hey, do you learn? It's just going to hallucinate. It's going to say, yeah, but it doesn't. It's just read only. Whatever you put in, it comes out, and that's it. It's just a regular software program. How OpenAI and the other big guys work is if you stay opted in, in other words, if you don't opt out, they're going to take all of the data that's submitted, and they're going to use that to train future versions. And that's where this 100% privacy, 100% private comes in. We're not going to use any data for any reason other than when you log in, you'll see your history. That's it. It won't leave our ecosystem.
And there will be an option at one point as well where we might actually provide this and you can deploy it yourself. Now, the downside of that is, hi, Debbie. The downside of that would be, though, that you're paying yourself for the running everything. So it's going to be a give and take, but you're going to be able to do your own thing basically as well.
The famous story there, Davey, is Amazon. But in the early days of OpenAI, all the Amazon employees were using it to help code. But of course, they're putting proprietary software into the system, which was then being used to train future versions. And all of a sudden, you've got Amazon proprietary software in the system, which may or may not leak. And that became a huge problem. So then they introduced the enterprise plans where, we won't use your data. But for the average person, if you don't opt out, they've got your data and they're going to use it.
Medical data, financial data.
Yeah.
You name it, people have put it in there, and it's a scary thing. So be careful, guys.
Well, he sent another question, so we'll just throw a statement. I work in the education sector, and there's really a demand for affordable AI. Amen. And that is, as we've done with working with the University of Geneva. Yeah, and of Applied Science in Switzerland. I think that's what it is. They had the same challenges. You know what I mean? They need to be able to have access to this, because there's a huge difference between the have and have nots. I mean, you got the big players who've bought up all the graphics cards, and they're just basically training their own models and doing their own thing. So basically, FluxAI levels that playing field. It gives you the same tools that these big boys are playing for a fraction of the cost, so that we can basically provide that to schools, educational institutions, universities. You know, Davey and I are both healthcare backgrounds, so we want to see this in healthcare. 110%. These are very important pieces. So yeah, that's a very good astute observation. So the next question is, will there be a way to deploy larger models that is on par with Llama 405B, ChatGPT 4.0, Claude 3.5, Sunset through the Flux APIs? I have no fucking clue what that means. So Daz, I'll let you handle that.
Yeah, so you've got different levels or different versions of the AIs, or LLMs, as they're called in the industry, large language models. So you've got the smaller models, which is what we're using. And because we use consumer graphics cards right now at this point in time, we're using the smaller models. So as Flux Edge grows and as we get more larger GPUs join the network, then we can start bringing in the larger models. So yes, it's going to come in the future.
Perfect.
There's a lot more on the roadmap that we're not able to always share, but a lot of these questions will automatically get answered.
FluxAI bot. Well, we were going to build one of that, and we actually, but it just wants to buy Flux all the time. So I don't know what we're going to do. It just straight no buy, no all buy, no sell. So I don't know what the hell that is.
It was a little flawed.
No, but I suggest people that have access to that API and that back end to create that product, because I think that would be a huge win for if somebody is enterprising out there and they want to build something that they're going to make some money on. Yeah, absolutely do it. That would be cool as shit. Sign me up.
Yeah.
If all of this runs on Flux Edge, I'm starting to worry we'll run out of hardware. So many options and so many opportunities. Well, I'll field that one. You know, the good thing about the way Flux was built and Flux Edge was built is we built it from the ground up, and we acknowledge scaling challenges almost immediately. So, you know, if we need more infrastructure, if we get to like a 75% utilization on Edge, we'll be able to up that with a collateral happening for our node side, and also incentives for the people providing. Our ultimate goal is to institute what's called progressive reward systems. So essentially, as the demand increases, the reward increases, therefore brings more people over. Now, we know this works because we're miners, right? We come from the mining world. If you spec'd mine before, you always gravitated toward whatever the most profitable was to mine, and then you converted it into the asset that you wanted. Well, we're going to do the exact same thing with our Flux Edge components as well. So as the increase in the network strain comes, you pay more, therefore getting more people to join the network. And by the way, this isn't just for Flux. I mean, we're already starting to look at adding a cache and other products that are already doing GPU rentals. Maybe you want to get a H100 for your product. Well, it's not something that we necessarily specialize in. We have maybe a couple in the network, but a cache has a shit ton of them. So tap that. You have access to that marketplace as well. FluxAI will also run eventually and deployed on other networks. The ultimate goal is to get it as decentralized as humanly possible. But from a scaling standpoint, it's all about Flux. How Flux sets up their node infrastructure, how they set up the edge rewards, progressive node rewards, progressive rewards for Flux Edge. So as we continue to grow, we've already spec'd out and focused on how we can exponentially scale, because one thing we don't want to run into is the problems that Grok, where they had to basically rent an airplane and fly graphics cards to their data center, and then stand them up because they had such demand. Well, Flux AI now can act as an overflow model for those products as well. So, you know, and deployment on edge and so on and so forth. So bottom line is we've built this with scaling in mind. So don't worry about it. We got it.
Yeah, and I want to touch on something you said at the very beginning, Dan, where, you know, we're a lot faster than the likes of GPT-4. And why is that? Well, they're limited on the amount of, you know, GPUs in their data centers, and they've got a choice. Do I use all of this GPU power to train the new models, or to serve the existing customers with the inference? And that's what you'll find in times when it goes slow. They're essentially turning off a lot of the GPUs over to the training for the new models, which then has an impact on people that's paying money. So they're limited to some degree, but with consumer GPUs, there has to be hundreds of millions out there, tens of millions.
Yeah.
And anyone with a GPU at home in the computer and they want to contribute and make some money, they can join. So I don't have any concern about running out any hardware anytime soon.
Yeah, the other thing is, and you know, I know it was kind of quasi-leaked, is you're going to see like Hive OS and so on and so forth have Flux added to their platform, so people can automatically flip a switch and participate in the useful work model. So, you know, I think they got the better part of 12 to 13 million graphics cards running there. So if we incentivize people, and if as the demand increases, it's just naturally they gravitate and turn that switch on and come over to Flux, because, you know, that's where all the action's happening. So good question.
Yeah. And if you want to find out more about contributing your GPU to our infrastructure, check out Flux Core on runonflux.com.
Use an API that draws from such large model. I don't know what that means.
No, basically the same question as before.
Yeah.
Will we have larger models? Yes. Will you be able to use the API for it? Yes.
In the future, absolutely in the future.
Cool. All right. What can FluxAI do? Can it compete with other projects like ChatGPT?
It depends on the use case, right?
Don't call ChatGPT a project, guys. That's not a project. That's a full-blown company.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, how many? They've got thousands of employees, probably hundreds of millions in budget. But it depends on the use case. If you want creative writing, which a lot of people want to do, then we can compete against that with creative writing stuff. Creating a story, we're just as good, man.
Yeah, and a fraction of the price. And the biggest thing is it's decentralized and private. So that right there is win-win-win across the board.
Well, let me show you this real quick, which touches on what he's just said. So here we are with a sample resume. So this particular person, who's totally made up, Kelly, she is a restaurant team member. And so what we can do, and you couldn't see that, right? So there you go.
There you go.
That's the resume. Just took a random one, totally made up. So we're going to put the resume right into FluxAI. And we're going to say, please improve. So first of all, this is just going to give us some tips on what we can improve here. Away it goes. It looks like Kelly's trying to upgrade her career in the food industry. What type of role do you think she'd be a great fit for? Very smart. It's asking me questions before it just gives me some improvements. Well, here's a restaurant manager position I found on Indeed right now. So if we take the responsibilities and, oh, hold on, you didn't say that. There you go. Indeed, copy responsibilities for this job that she's interested in. Let's go back, put it in. And she's looking for a leadership role at Chili's. That's great. So now I can go, please improve resume based on this job description.
Dude, this is lit. Nobody should have a shitty resume anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I get some shitty resumes, guys.
There you go. Totally customized to that job that she's going to apply for.
Dude, that is insane.
And that just took less than a minute to do that. So no excuses, guys.
Well, I was using it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was
using it.
Son of a bitch, Dave. What are you doing? Go. You go.
No.
I was using this the other day, playing around, because you know, one of the lawyers, I had to send some stuff over to the lawyer, and we were looking for MOU or something goofy like that for a particular use case. So we took our stock MOU that we use for pretty much everything, and we put it in there, and we said customize this to this particular service, and boom, it came right back. And then what I did was I took that MOU, dropped it in an email, sent it to my lawyer, and said, hey, can you redline this for me and let me know what I need to change? I got it back with like 3 things. And what that did is that saved me, instead of the $1 zillion it was going to cost them to actually generate, and by the way, wait a month and a half for it to happen, it went to fractionally $150, $200, $250, whatever it is for paralegal. And I got back the completed product. So it does change. It's not going to get rid of the legal field completely yet. But what it does is it gives us some necessary tools that we can build this, and you can customize it. I actually used Pennsylvania, and I built it out. I said, build it for Pennsylvania, da-da-da-da-da. And then, bam, I got a new MOU, and it was all but ready to go, which is pretty impressive. Do not use this for legal stuff. I'm using this as an example. Always get your lawyer to review your shit before you implement it. But awesome tool.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Flux is scaling using decentralized compute resources for real-world problems. There is no end to this. #genius. Agreed. We see this, the 1,500 people that are on this live stream, they see this as well. They know exactly why we're doing this, which is awesome. There's the weird eye guy again. When us mere mortals can use image AI.
Next week.
Mortals.
So yeah, it's alpha right now. We want at least another week to get it into beta and then release it. So should be in your hands hopefully next week. Fingers crossed.
What is the difference between FluxAI compared to the existing projects? I think we already kind of went over that, of why it's important. Unless you have something else to add, Des.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll add one thing. It's important as well. Decentralization is not just a crypto project or a blockchain spread across things. Decentralization at heart is also having multiple options for your AI needs. So you can use a ChatGPT, you can use Grok, you can use FluxAI, you can use Akash Chat, you can use any of the chats out there, or you can use Olama or whatever. So having opportunities and options out there is not bad. The fact that there is options out there is basically means competition, means better improvement of the software. If nobody else would create another ChatGPT, we would all be tied to ChatGPT, and then you get into the Google situation. The only alternative for Google was really Bing, and then later on we got Brave and other options. But you don't want that just one solution. You want a variety, because that variety, that decentralization of the technology itself will improve the technology big time. That's why we're also having this. Plus, we're giving this as an option for folks in an enterprise world as well. We can implement this on-prem. We can implement this in private clusters. We can implement this for education pieces. We can do this for healthcare, where you have to follow HIPAA rule sets and all these other things. We will have the options to do that. We will have the technology. We'll have the knowledge of doing that. So we can, everything we're doing here, one, enables us to learn, grow, and basically further any other business out there that wants to do this. All of these are perfect use cases that anybody can apply in their day-to-day. Point in case, last night, our Friday night was spent with my son and I going through D&D stories. That started with me and Des talking for 5 minutes, and we spent all evening doing nothing but D&D stories and then creating an image on it. And
wait, is that Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, and I'm not a fan, by the way.
You guys are
never
geek.
played.
Nerd.
But my son, every day, every Saturday, every weekend, 6-7 people doing it. But they're coming up with their own stories.
You tell that boy Dan says he's a nerd, but I love it.
Oh, he knows. He doesn't care. He knows.
He's a good kid too.
But it's fun. It was fun to do because he was like, "Oh, I'm trying to come up with stats for a weapon or an unused item." So I asked him. I created an item, and it was called "Dirty Underwear." Give me the stats, and then it came with some funny results. We had a good laugh, but that's just the one use case. Think about the possibilities. And I might have given my kids access to FluxAI.app on for school usage, because ChatGPT was blocked. Whoops. So you might see
Yeah,
it grow all of a sudden, guys.
I did the same thing for my daughters, but I also explained to them that we would eventually be working on Mayhem. So we're going to give them some educational tools to work with, but we're also eventually going to give them the tools to get busted. So what's the old adage? F around and find out. Well, if you use it for your homework, you're going to F around and find out. So good stuff. All right, next one. Is it a real person approving all the images on the contest, Daz?
Yeah, there's a real person, there's a real human. So we're going to need to scale this up if we get thousands and thousands of entries, of course. But yeah, right now it's going to be a human, making sure that there's nothing unethical, nothing illegal gets published. Yeah,
and then I think it's like everything else. The next iteration will look for something to scan these images to make sure that they're legit, and it'll just automatically be posted, and we'll give the community the ability to report a something that's posted that shouldn't be as well. So those are all good things. Daz is very forward thinking with this. It's cool to see some of these things happen. Convince me why I should log into your site to use someone else's model like Llama and Flux One. So they're saying, yeah, go ahead.
It's you don't have to. If you don't want to do this way, then by all means, stand up your own Jupyter notebook, find the script, the code to do it, and by all means, do it all yourself. It's easy as that. Or you can stand up your own Llama and play with models and do your own thing. We made it as easy as possible now, just to go in, log in, and do your thing. Want an image? Great, create it. And you can submit it, and you can copy it, and you play with it. You can create a story. Now you can create it from your story. You can create an image. You can do all of that yourself too. Like if you want to create these things yourself, by all means, go for it. I'm not gonna. It works. It's fast. It's amazing to use, and it's easy to use. And this is just the alpha. This is just the start of it. And look how flawless it already operates. Just think about it. In a year, I don't even know where we're gonna be with this. It's gonna be huge. Just
agreed.
3 weeks, and we have an adaptation of already more than 600 users without marketing it at all.
We haven't done anything yet. Literally, the first ads are going to start running next week. So we'll actually start, and then once we move into beta, then we'll push it harder. So, I mean, one thing you've probably learned about Flux is our alphas are basically release candidates to every other product in the world. So you're getting a finished, polished, very well developed platform at alpha, which is it's just not heard of in the space. But that's what works for us, because a lot of the input we get is from community members. So we're utilizing you guys as our quality control metrics. Basically, you guys break it and you tell us what you broke, and then we fix it. So move fast, iterate, right? So that's what it's all about. What are your target customers, individuals or companies?
Yeah, that slide says it all, right?
Yeah, I think it's our target audience is both of those items. But I will say this: I think we'll see very early on a serious influx, no pun intended, of users, personal users who want to utilize AI, don't want to pay $25 for ChatGPT. Want a more robust decentralized solution, and don't want their data tracked, which is a big deal. So I think you'll see end users using it a lot, but I also see companies. We've already got 2 or 3 companies that are kicking the tires, specifically around how they can use this to scale out their models as well. So good shit. Does FluxAI have the ability to use LLMs besides Llama 3.1?
Yeah, that's going to be the long-term vision, is to have a selection of different LLMs, AIs to choose from. So yeah, we're just starting with Llama 3.1.
Well, no, there's actually two, actually three, if you think about it, right, Des? Yeah, you have your we have Llama 3.1, and then we got the code one. That's a separate one.
Yeah, that's it, Dave. Yeah, the code one. Of course, Llama 3.1 seems to be beating the code one, so there's a chance we might switch completely to 3.1. But you're right. For the images, it's Flux.1, and then we're going to keep adding and adding and adding.
And yeah, we'll add the option at one point, depending on the level you pay for. You'll have the option to pick multiple different models.
That's it.
Will the character limit remain 1,000?
So right now it's completely free to use. We had to set some limit just so we could see how the usage is and basically build the infrastructure around that. So this is subject to change. It could go up, it could go down. We're still figuring out the finer details, but yeah, stay tuned and you'll be able to find out.
Okay. What become about the incentive for Flux node running bare metal of Flux? Okay, that's kind of for Flux, but yes, we are looking at that. That'll be part of our progressive node reward structure. So my goal is to have in the hands of the community the white paper on what progressive node rewards are, and then in turn that'll also give way to what progressive rewards are on the Flux Edge ecosystem as well. So I want to try to have that out by like the end of the year. I already have a roughed in white paper built. So now I just have to pull the great minds together to make sure that I'm not talking out my ass. So, and that it's possible to happen. So we'll get Davey and Trunk and Daz and Alex and all the gang together and we'll figure it out, Volter and so on. All right. So that was a good one. It says, what data did you use to train FluxAI?
Yeah, so we're using Llama 3.1, which is an open source public model, and we didn't train it ourselves. We have FluxBot, which is another standalone AI product, which has been trained on all of our documents, white papers, and that's available through the FluxBot. But we didn't physically train FluxAI.
Cool. That answers the question. Yeah, and I mean that's just kind of the way. That's just kind of the way some of these things are working now. I mean, let somebody else train the models. You know, we're just tap into whatever's available, right?
Yeah, I think Meta, who obviously built Llama 3.1, they're spending probably like hundreds of millions on GPU power and electricity to train these models. So
you could definitely eventually see a point where Flux becomes a more rewarding structure to train models on, because you can get, like Daz was alluding to with you know, they have to turn their data center onto the training. Well, that means their inference is not on. I mean, that's why you go to ChatGPT sometimes and it's like you don't get shit. So for us, that's not a problem. We would just tune up more infrastructure for that training model. So you could actually see larger models utilizing Flux for training at some point in the future. I believe that they will, or at least overflow. Was that Dibby? Yes, that's my buddy. He's back there. Well, he was. Oh, he's over there now. He's sleepy, you know. Can we pay in Flux?
Dan, can we play in Flux?
Yeah, absolutely. You can pay in Flux. Preferred mechanism, right? But you can also use that dirty fiat that gets converted to Flux as well. So one of the things we do from our utility side is anything that is any payments that are done, anything that's been accumulated automatically goes back to a market buy on Flux. So, you know, our ultimate guy is to push this bad boy to everybody en masse. And the only way you're going to get those let's say, you know, in the adoption bell curve, right? It goes like this, and you got your early adopters down here. That's you guys, right? So the early adopters are down here. But as you start moving up this ladder here for the still early investors, but on a different scale, the technologists, the innovators, so on and so forth, that they're right here on the scale. You have to have fiat included, because me as an operations guy or as a CIO, I can't plan my budget and not know what the bullet point is. Like I can't say I may need 5,000 flux. I could need 10,000 flux. I might need 5 flux. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to budget and put it into a operational budget and capital budgets when you don't have an idea. So tying it to fiat is absolutely imperative. And it also takes down that adoption barrier because people no longer have to go get Flux and deploy it. They can do it with fiat, and then we take care of that on the backside. So yeah, I mean, that in itself is where we really want to see things go. Okay. And we'll show when Dan speaks, it's automatic FOMO. Dan for president 2024. Yeah, I know, dude. I honestly, I'm not trying to pump anybody up for this. I am absolutely floored by some of the pieces that I even learned here today. And I have my afternoon kind of planned out to make some badass images and start sending them to my friends, my fantasy football team too, as well. So I'm going to like that. So yes, we're really excited. So, all right, we'll take like one more or two more questions and then we'll kind of kill it.
We have to find a winner yet or winners for the folding at home competition.
Oh yeah. We got to do the folding at home drawing, and then we're gonna do a giveaway. Can we do the roll still, Davey? Sorry, the folks on Twitter won't be able to do this, or X, but the folks that are on Flux Labs. Go subscribe to Flux Labs, and you get to get entered, and you get free swag. So we'll give away. Let's give away. We'll do this. Wait, let's do it after we do the roll or the drawing for the node rewards.
Yeah. Give me
deployment reward, should I say?
Yeah, and guys, let me just do a quick few shout outs before you move on to the next bit. Massive shout out to Parker for all of his help and support getting up to this point. Of course, the Flux Edge team. Massive shout out to Alex and Lucas and Jeremy. Not forgetting Max as well, who's been our intern. That's been helping us. Thanks to all you guys, Tim, Davey, Dan. Even you've massively contributed towards this, so thanks a lot.
I appreciate that, brother. And honestly, I'm super prideful for all the teams and what they've done and worked so hard. The one thing I will say about the Flux team is there's not a selfish person in this group. And I watched firsthand how two pretty much siloed teams, FluxAI and the Flux Edge team, working kind of on their own thing. And then all of a sudden, they had to branch these things together. And it was fun to watch it develop. Like, I don't know if it was fun for those guys, but it was a hell of a lot of fun for me because I got to watch everybody work together and have like a ton of teamwork to make this happen. And there is a reason why Flux is where we are today, right? It's because we do not stop. We just keep building. We just keep developing. And that in the end is what's going to get us to the Holy Land. So, we have a lot of things that we want to accomplish, and without our community and without the important involvement of everybody on the team, it's a big deal. All right.
Not forgetting Betty and Shannon and Lisa.
Yes, the marketing team, always rocking and rolling. So, and Daz actually appeared in a pretty high-end article this week, specifically quoting him on AI and why it's important. I think it was for training model or something like that, but it was good stuff. So we're already getting accolades and acknowledgments. I have 3 interviews next week specifically around, the FluxAI deployment and so on and so forth. So good stuff.
Those ladies are awesome.
All right, everybody roll. We're going to give away, we're going to do 2 rollings. The first one, we're going to give away a t-shirt and a hat from the Got Flux store. So you'll get a coupon. You'll be able to go in there. You'll be able to grab a t-shirt and a hat. So you have to, in the chat, you have to put hashtag FluxAI, capital F, capital A. Guys, make sure we just put the right thing here because that was an issue in the past. And the folks that are on X that lucky guy can kiss my ass. Okay, so roll, and then we'll see who where we land.
All right.
How do we ban that dickhead? I can't even find a way to ban him.
Don't bother. Don't bother. He's just drawing your attention and wants his attention.
Well, he should get some coffee and like take a break or something. You know, eat a Snickers, bitch. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trolling the troll.
All right. Do we have everybody put in their entry?
I think we do. How many do we have?
We got 38 and counting.
All right. Last call.
All right.
Roll it. Roll it.
I'm going to win because I entered as well. There you go.
Oh, there you go, buddy. I know he'll love that. So that's a good one for him.
All right. And we can draw again if we want to. If you haven't entered yet, make sure you jump in.
Okay, for the next one, we're going to give away. Let's just do another hat and t-shirt. Fuck it. Those are awesome. So, and then the only stipulations when you get it, you gotta give us a picture of you wearing it. So, if you already rolled, do we have to roll again, Davey, or how's that? Or we just roll again?
No, we just I just have to draw again. So make sure you're in there. If you haven't put in, there you go. I see people joining in still. All right.
Hey, big shout out, man. We had like 1,700 people in this live stream. Which is insane. X seems to be a really good option to stream this stuff. It brings a lot of people in.
All right. Any still people saying FluxAI?
All right,
it doesn't matter how many times you type it in, guys. It only counts for one. So
2, roll.
There you go.
Oh, there's our major questioner. So yeah, congratulations, dude. And I don't know what the hell that picture's from, but that looks terrifying. That's what we do. That's what we do to our devs here to keep them going 24/7, 365. Just kind of pry their eyeballs open and make them code.
Something like that.
All right, good. Okay, now, Davey, we got one more, and that is to give away the rewards for the deployment of folding at home.
Right. Let me grab that here for a sec. Give me one sec. All right. Share. All right. So, in technical fashion, we created a script to pull from two things, because we have, of course, people running it on Flux Edge, folding at home, and we also have people doing folding at home on the cloud solution. So we have both. We grabbed all the data, and you can see it from yesterday. So if people were up and running till yesterday, you are in the lists to be picked. We will be picking 5 out of each. And in typical Olympic style, I put some medals to it, but they don't mean anything. All 5 are equal. But if you get the gold medal, you get the gold medal. So
how are we gonna know who wins? Is it
it'll pick it out of the list, and it'll basically tell me who the winners are, and we'll have the Zell IDs to go with that on the cloud solution. And on the Edge solution, we have obscured email addresses so that we can compare it to.
What's the prize again, Davey? I can't remember.
I would have to ask the marketing team personally.
Yeah, I think it's 10,000 Flux that they're gonna split between them. So, what is it? Top 5?
Yeah, so there's 5 and 5. So
that's a good payday.
5 and 5. So that's a good way of mining some Flux if you want some Flux.
Mine with your mind.
All right. So up first is our cloud solution. Just so this is running in on a European machine. On the Edge side, we're using a 1080 Ti, so that you kind of see what we're using. So yeah, here we go.
This is awful damn fancy just to pick a winner.
I know, right? I was having fun with the code creator of FluxAI yesterday.
Tad bit of a overkill, but I love it.
So Richard came first. So Richard's like, yeah, I created this code on FluxAI. I'm like, okay, thanks, Richard. I'm like, well, and it was just creating. It was like, boom, done. I'm like, well, that's not fun. I want to see like a process where you can see the bronze, the silver, and so yeah, I kind of went all out with the code generator, and boom, there it is. There was our first winners.
I can't.
So congratulations to these folks. We'll post these when on our Discord the results. I'll give this to Betty, and then she'll announce as well how you guys get in touch with her to claim your prize. So this is for the cloud solution, and then we'll go on straight away to the edge guys. Let's see who we have over there.
This is fucking badass.
Yeah, you love.
I'm gonna totally play with that code thing today as well. All right.
We could have gone to a randomizer. We could have gone the route of using what StreamYard has and all that. But we wanted to do something special. Just, tie it all together. Hey, look, I have an extra fancy on this one. Sorry. So congratulations to all 10 winners.
Am I in that list? I want to know if I'm in that damn list.
Yes, you are in the list, but you didn't win. Sorry. I might have put something in the code that made you.
That's ignorant, Davey. That is ignorant.
Look,
well, I'm glad.
Code that I would definitely win, and I'm not in the list of winners either. So,
congratulations to the folks that won, and we are going to be doing another one of these like almost immediately because it's nice. These competitions are nice. It helps us gauge what we need to scale and work on effectively. And when we rolled out that folding, man, that line was parabolic straight up. So, and we were mashing so much to the fact that I chatted with the folding at home team about it. So, it's kind of cool to see that happen and us using our graphics cards for fun stuff like that. And it really brings attention to the project. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to just do a real quick closing. Daz, thank you for coming today, man. We really do appreciate you. Davey, as always, thank you, brother, for being here and helping make sure that everything goes flawlessly. To the community, I would like to say this. We are at a very tumultuous time right now. We're just a few months out from a U.S. election. There's tons of turmoil in the world. You're hearing about regulatory concerns for blockchain, regulatory concerns for Web3 and AI, and so on and so forth. It is our job to start to educate people and make them have them understand the value add that not only something like Flux Edge and Flux itself and FluxAI brings to the table. We need to start quelling some of this concerns that people have that AI is going to take over the world. Right? Maybe someday. But right now, as we build these out, these are actually changing people's lives and helping them perform better at their jobs or personally, So these are all big, huge things that we need to champion. With that, I will tell you, I'm headed to DC next week to speak with House representatives, and they are all Democrats. So pray for me, and we'll see how that ends up. But this is the kind of stuff that we've been doing as well. We've been taking initiatives to really work with folks in DC so that they can really start to get around a regulatory sandbox for AI and for Web3 and DeepIn. We don't want to see companies leaving mass exodus from the US as we develop these things out. So it's our job to be proactive and not reactive. So start to educate your friends, start to talk to them about Flux, share what we're doing, and educate yourself. And the other thing, communicate. We've got 1,700 plus people on this that are community members. X is a very vibrant place for us. So start to share some of the things you do. Maybe run in, do some image generation next week and talk about the contest because we will be launching that contest for our images. And just be you, because ultimately we are where we are today because you guys have supported us the whole way. So we thank every one of you. We would not be here without the community. We would not be here without the development team and the ethos that this community and this team has to privacy, decentralization, security, and building up a true juggernaut for what DPIN and Web3 will be in the future. So without further ado, I thank you all for jumping on today. Please like, share, retweet, all that kind of good, happy horse shit. Davey, play us out.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, why do they lie? Yeah. There's only one way to go, and that's Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all the people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though, and you know we Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all the people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though, and you know we Web 3.0. I know we fighting these corporate tyrants. They try to silence, but we can see. They tried to censor our speech. They want no privacy. At night I can't sleep, cause my data, they gonna breach. Don't be evil, plus being all the people, flexing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though, and you know we Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux being on my people, flexing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though, and you know we Web 3.0. And you know we Web 3.0. And you know we Web 3.0. We gon' fight.
See you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.